Ashley thought she was a normal girl. She forgot her magic nature name and her magical powers of her family. But she didn't know who she would be after she turned 18. The surprise would change her life forever. She didn't know how truly special she was. Ashley went to a normal school and had a normal life. She didn't know that this week she would change forever, and some of her friends wouldn't like her after this change. She had one real friend, and the other friends she had were so fake. Ashley was usually a distant friend or just a friend, but she was almost never a close friend. Ashley got ready, and it was time to go to school. The bus arrived, and Ashley got on the bus. The energy on the bus was different than normal. Why is this happening? Thought Ashley as she looked out of the window. The bus doors opened to the last house. The last teen walked near the bus. She waved goodbye to her mom. There was a storm cloud above, thunder sounds, and purple light. Two 19-year-old teenagers looked out of the window. One of them was a boy that was wearing an orange hat, and one of them was a girl. They opened up their backpacks to put on their beautiful rain jackets and to take out their beautiful umbrellas that had the same color as their rain jackets. The boy who had the rain jacket was an orange rain jacket decorated in amber beads, and the girl had a rain jacket decorated in yellow calcite beads. The rain jackets didn't look like what's normal on Earth, because they looked eco-friendly, homemade, detailed, and comfortable. Ashley stopped feeling shy and scared for a minute and said to them, "Hello, where are you from?" The teenage girl said, "We're not from this city. It's none of your business." Ashley looked out of the window again, but this time she did it because she felt curious for them. Ashley looked outside and she thought, "I wish it would rain. I think that would improve my day." The boy took out a potion bottle out of the backpack and opened the lid. A blue light came out and disappeared quickly. It started raining immediately. The girl looked at him and whispered, "How did you know she likes raining?" The boy whispered, "I'm pretending I'm one of those students here to observe what's normal in this universe, and I learned that Ashley likes rain, and I've learned so much more." Ashley accidentally heard what they said and saw the potion bottle open, but she didn't respond because she didn't want to. "When do I tell her we're not from this universe?" whispered the boy. The girl whispered, "Don't worry, my friend. Eventually she will come to our universe because of her own curiosity. Trust me, this is what happened to me." They both looked out of the window for a few more moments, as the rain went from a small drizzle to a rainstorm slowly. The rain sound was relaxing enough for Ashley. Everything else in the bus just watched the rain and listened to music on their phone with AirPods or headphones in their ears. Ashley was different from everyone else, and she didn't know why. Finally, the bus parked in the school parking lot. The doors opened, and everyone slowly walked out or ran out depending on their feelings. Ashley walked out slower than everyone else. She was so relaxed, and she felt more happiness than most days because of the rain and the sounds that it made. She walked inside of the school building and went down the long hallways. She found a potion book hidden in a closet. "Why is it hidden?" she thought. She opened it up. It had an envelope in it that was still unopened. It showed a big waterfall with her mom, her dad, and her smiling while standing next to their two cute puppies. She opened the envelope and it read a letter from her mom. Ashley was very curious. She looked at the clouds and saw that they looked like they were about to rain. Ashley always was happy when it rained. She wanted it to rain, so she waited in her room, but it didn't happen yet. Ashley went outside again. There were giant storm clouds, and that usually means rain. Then the wind got more intense than before. Purple lightning struck the pool for the first time. The pool glowed in a bright yet purple glow, and a splash of water turned into glowing light. Magical purple embers scattered everywhere and burned the sides of the pool. Then it went away. Then a small water tornado that glowed purple and speckled the glowing purple magic embers formed in the outdoor pool. Wind surrounded it, was about to destroy the house. Then it turned into a normal small thundercloud. The small thundercloud went up into the sky. The wind got more intense around Ashley, and it gently pushed only Ashley into the sky. When she got into the sky near the clouds and the wind got more intense, the thunder clouds hit a layer of purple clouds that had colors of a purple sunset, like gradient in the thunder clouds that had their unusual glow. It was time for her to explore the purple sunrise dimension, Earth. And she felt more excited than she did in a few months. She went through the sky portal, and the sky looked light blue. The wind slowed down. She felt like she was gliding and flying through the clouds. Ashley looked down, felt the summer weather, and saw a deep blue ocean, a volcanic island archipelago with beautiful forests on most of the islands. The beaches were long and white. She flew further, and she was gliding and was worried she was about to fall into something. She stared at one of the white beaches, and she landed on her 2 feet. The beach was longer than she thought was possible. There were piles of shells, each of them separated in the middle of the beach. The same 2 people from school were there, moving the piles into baskets on the sailboat. "How are you? You're from school," said Ashley in a warm, friendly way. "My name is Ember," said the boy. "I'm Breezy." "And I'm the most bossy girl ever," said the girl. Ashley asked, "What are you doing with those shells?" Ember said, "We're decorating a new location for the biggest magical nature protection organization in the world." Breezy said, "It's an organization that covers the world. In almost every ecosystem and climate zone, it's literally like a utopian system." Ashley said, "Can I help, please?" Breezy said, "Yes, you can help us. Wait a second, I recognize you. You're the girl from the waterfall village in the forest. Your name is Seawave. Your dad was insecure when he left the village after a rich guy kept shaming his marriage." Ashley said, "I don't remember that ever happening. My name is Ashley." Breezy said, "You probably took a potion a long time ago to make you forget your name and your inevitable magic. It's normal sometimes when people leave this beautiful dimension to change their names because of insecurity." "How could anyone be insecure here?" said Ashley. Breezy said, "We've become controversial not on purpose. It just happened. We're living in an eco-friendly life. Stay-at-home dads are normal. Only the best women leaders here. Respecting nature." And it goes on and on. You would know the reasons for it if you lived here. It's so sad you left this beautiful world full of beautiful forests, beaches, rivers, no climate change problems, and more. Ember said, "We have everyday adventures." Ashley said, "Why have adventures?" Breezy said, "It's basically because we don't have unmagical conflicts in our world, except for sometimes the villains. And the negative energy trying to stop us from helping Earth. Being brave is less boring than taking on a challenge. When the challenges went away completely in the past, we were not happy. A little sad and bored at the same time. I'm glad we have adventures at least." Ashley took one basket to put on the sailboat, and the sailboat wasn't completely full of baskets until the end of the afternoon. Ember said, "Can we call you Seawave? That's your real name." Ashley said, "Fine, I'll try it out. I've always wanted to feel special." The sailboat started sailing slowly. "Seawave, why don't you move the boat for us and I'll control the wind, please?" said Breezy. Seawave said, "I don't know how to move a boat." Breezy said, "I'm not talking about the traditional way to move a boat. I'm talking about using your magical powers." Seawave said, "What makes you think I have magic after my birthday? That sounds ridiculous." Breeze said, Your mom has magical abilities starting at teen. Your grandma had magical abilities starting at teen. And so did everyone in your family, including your dad. You're 18, you got it. Ashley said, well, why do you need my help then? I'm sure you already know what you're doing. I could just sit here and relax. Breezy said, you can control the waves, the rain, and magically control water, so if you want to help each other, then the sailboat can be like a surfboard, and it would be more fun than just using traditional levers, ropes, and sails. Haven't you dreamed of being brave in a special way? Here's your chance. Ashley said, okay, fine. I'll try. Breezy moved her hands, and the wind pulled the sailboat's sail to the right in a random direction. Breezy said, what are you waiting for? Girls like us don't just stand there. We do something. Aren't you excited, or is it just me? Ashley took a deep breath and focused. And the ocean created a larger, fast wave. We're going to lose some of the baskets, said Ember. Why is it too large and fast like Pacific Ocean waves, said Ashley in a scared voice. Who cares? This is fun. There's more seashells on the shore, said Breezy in an excited tone. The waves slowed down and lowered. Ember, Ashley, and Breezy looked at the side of the oceans. We went in the wrong direction. Oops, beginner's luck. We didn't crash this, said Ember. That was so much fun. Stop acting like a boy for a second. You aren't supportive enough, boy, said Breezy. Sea Waves said in a panicked voice, oh no, we're so lost on the ocean. Ember said, did anyone bring a compass? Breezy said, I literally have the most perfect vision quality. Just give me a rope and I will pull it in the right direction. I guess I should have trusted you, my friend, Ember said, and he gave the rope to the sail. Sea Wave said, you're still going to believe her? She's not a bird. Breezy said, well, I guess I could prove you wrong, just like I proved the factory wrong. I'm braver and more creative than anyone. Ember said, I'm sorry about your trauma in there, and the almost famine after your family went through the bag of potatoes. Breezy said, thank you for thinking of me. I'm trying to focus. I love you, Ember. Ashley said, I don't trust you. We're just going to drown lost at sea. It was my fault. I'm so sorry for doing this. Breezy took the ropes and used a magical wind ability to fly. Sea Wave watched a few more moments. Slowly, a tall volcanic island became more visible the closer they got. We did it, said Ember. We had a fun little adventure, and we didn't drown in the ocean. Maybe you should have trusted me. Breezy said, okay. Sea Wave said, that's not normal. What I did there in the ocean was so fun and amazing. Sea Wave's hesitation was uncomfortable. Ember said, nothing. Breezy said, it doesn't matter if you're normal in this world you came from. In this world, you follow your dreams literally. You have dreams that are vivid. Follow them and you will live better than any queen in your world's history. Sea Wave is a long name. Can you call me Wave? Sometimes like a nickname, and Sea Wave normally, I don't know, said Sea Wave. Ember said, that's odd. You don't know? I thought you would know something like that. I don't mean to overthink. I've been in this world for my entire life. The purple sunrise dimension is home. Sure, I'll just call you Wave. Breezy said, you're the waterfall family, so do you want to be Wave Waterfall or just Wave as a nickname? Sea Wave said, just call me Wave, please. Normally, whatever. Breezy said, sure, okay, I'll call you Wave, unless things get uncomfortable, if that's okay with you. Ashley said, yeah, that's comfy, let's do it. And please, let me go on those adventures with you. I want to be special. I want to try. Everyone got out of the boat and walked on the long beach. They carried the baskets full of shells up the river's stone roads and observed the giant mushrooms, tall trees, and their jumbo bamboo close to the long river stone road. Ember said, this project might take a long time, but it will be worth it. I just know it will. Everyone found a public water fountain at the end of the stone road and a sign saying, please build the magical house space here. They drank water from the public fountains, then stared at the sky. The sky was very blue and bright. A cloud passed in the sky that looked like a white pine tree, and another one looked like a robot. It was time to build. It was less sunny under the plants and mushrooms, but the summer heat was the same. I've never built a house before, Wave said out loud. There's a first time for everything. I think you'll be very good at it if you try, said Breezy. I've never seen tree bamboo and mushrooms that are this tall, thought Wave. She'd never seen a forest, and so everything felt new, different, more peaceful, more exciting, and truly amazing. Ember said, that cloud looks like a robot in a white pine tree. Isn't that awesome? Stop being like a boy and just get to work, my friend, said Breezy. Obviously it looks like that. We all see it. It looks like Earth's history before the almost extinction event. How wild is that? Said Breezy. Wave said, Breezy, why are you always so bossy? It's almost rude and kind of annoying. Breezy said, I used to work in a factory after my parents fled the country because of potatoes. They thought potatoes were toxic and itchy and deadly. It was the same earth you came from. The factory made me feel so weak. But after the portal appeared in the sky, I came here and I became free. Finally, I can be brave, strong, and kind. Like a tomboy, but it's more normal. Wave said, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know that was happening on my Earth. Breezy said, well, I'm glad I'm not injured or dead. That was a very risky job. Your Earth was on the right track before the robotic-fueled dystopia ruined it. And I'm happy that portal opened because I'm never going back to that horrible dystopian planet. Wave said, dystopia is a strong word. You're probably right. I don't know. It's not that bad. I'm more optimistic about the good things about Earth. Fun video games, fun movies, and robots aren't misaligned anymore. Robot maids are convenient, even though they make life too repetitive, and everything's so advanced. People made a moon base, and if I become a techno queen, maybe I will live on the moon, and robots will make the perfect tea as I watch the Earth rise. Breezy said, sure, whatever, let's build a house and not live on the moon. Earth is special, the moon isn't special at all. The three of them spent all afternoon building the beautiful hallways, walls of the building, decorated in shells, but they were not finished. Wave saw the sunset and she said, I have to get to school tomorrow. I'll see you again when I can. Ember said, here's some smooth obsidian if you want it. It's one of the crystals to activate the portal. Breezy said, we would love to do an adventure with you. Wave took the smoothed obsidian in her hands. See you soon. I'll definitely be back after school, she said. She put the obsidian in her hand close to her eye, and the purple portal opened near a tree. Wave walked through it and she arrived home. She walked out of it and almost immediately fell asleep. She had a dream that a supervolcano erupted next to a data center. The data center got destroyed by the magma. The sky rained pebbles and the air got unbreathable. The sky turned gray. There was a lightning and a terrifying volcanic eruption sound. A mother woke up because of an emergency alarm from the TV with a message on it reading, possible human extinction. After a big supervolcano erupted, the world will be unbreathable here and the entire world in less than 1 week, and the air quality will probably be awful for generations. Less electricity will happen soon. You will have to ration electricity, oxygen, food, and clean water as it gets harder to find. The mom was from another part of the world. She woke everyone up, and everyone immediately got into the car to buy a gas mask and oxygen tank, so they could breathe the air. She drove them to buy a gas mask, and it was a long line to check out with the gas mask and an oxygen tank. They got out of the store, put on the gas mask and oxygen. They looked up at the sky that was way too gray as they wondered why the volcano erupted. Loud screams and then quiet suffocation happened in a handful of apartments who didn't get the gas mask with oxygen. The mom drove the car home. Everyone got back home. The TV turned on by itself. There was a map of the TV that showed a place in the middle of nowhere where there was an underground space people could live in, breathe, and eat, and have clean water. The mom and family immediately drove in a car for a while and got to the place on the map, only to realize later that you had to pay to get in. People who couldn't pay would die. She had a wallet with her, so she paid for her family to get in. The place was luxurious, full of entertainment, and spacious, but didn't feel okay. A tree fell down after being struck by lightning, and everyone saw it. The mom's curious girl had a gas mask and oxygen on. She walked out of the pressurized underground space to see the rain and to touch the tree. She felt the electricity, and it looked like she died, but she was a kid, so she couldn't pay to get inside. She cried as she couldn't open the door. Her mom tried to get her back, but the owners of the underground space didn't let her get her daughter into the building. Then one of them said, "The air is unbreathable outside. Anyone who goes out will die, and there's nothing anyone can do. Extinction is inevitable, and no one should try anymore." The girl saw a beautiful woman move closer to her, and she asked, "Can you terraform for me, please?" The girl said yes. She gave her a hug. There was a broken glass in the oxygen tank. The girl went unconscious, and she felt like she woke up. It was her soul, and she started terraforming the entire place with magic. After she terraformed the earth to be hospitable, she fell asleep under a tall tree, and she went into the afterlife.